Yes, people, welcome back to another video, Thai Sports. Make sure you smash a like. Make sure you subscribe if you're new as well. But Newcastle, your window, it's not looking good. It's not looking good. Alexander Isak, not training, not going to be in the squad at the moment. And it looks like he is pushing his move to Liverpool Football Club. But the big question is what striker are you going to get now? Because you need one. That is the truth. You 100% need a striker because Callum Wilson's gone, West Ham, William Asula, young, unproven, and you lot are in the Champions League. Newcastle are in the Champions League. And I kind of look, at the end of the day, we've got Mbeumo at Man United. I'm a Man United fan. We've got Sesko over you guys. But at the end of the day, let's talk about football. Forget that Manchester United have beaten you to two of the signings you want. But when you look at it, it is a big statement. Man United are just such a huge club, and it shows because we have not got the Champions League football that you guys have. And we've beaten you to two of the signings that you wanted that would have started for you lot straight away. And Mbeumo on the right-hand side, obviously you got Elanga. That's cool. Elanga's still a proven player, a Jacob Murphy replacement, a like for like, a pace outlet, transition, counter football, runs in behind. And I think he's going to be a success at you lot. I do believe that he fits the philosophy of what Newcastle are trying to do. But Benjamin Sesko, a talented 22-year-old, one of the hottest strikers in Europe, you guys were kind of sorted to say, right, Benjamin Sesko, you're coming in. Alexander Isak, you can now go to Liverpool Football Club. But now you're at a standstill. And it's like, who can they now look at that can come in and not just replace Isaac, because you can't replace Isaac. He's the best all-round striker in world football right now, complete striker. But it's like, who can come in and facilitate for the squad? Who can come in and potentially score goals? And now you look at your options. You've got Nicholas Jackson. You've got Ollie Watkins, who I don't think is now going to leave Aston Villa. You've got Wissa that you're looking at from Brentford. And when you look elsewhere, Dusan Vlahovic, you're not going to pay the wages. I don't know if he'll be a success at Newcastle. The truth is, for me, Newcastle have to go big for Nicholas Jackson. And look, people might think I'm crazy. People might laugh and say Jackson's rubbish. Jackson is this, Jackson is that. I'm not paying 70 million for Nicholas Jackson. Now, look, you don't have to pay 70 million for Nicholas Jackson. I'm not saying that. But when you get someone like Nicholas Jackson, who has played in the Premier League, is only 23, 24, he's got years to grow and develop, I do think this striker is better than a lot of people make out. Like, the only deficiency with Nicholas Jackson, you would say, is that he misses a lot of chances. And look, yeah, he misses more chances than he should. But if he was scoring those goals, he's easily getting 15 to 20 league goals for Chelsea season upon season upon season. But they've now got Delap, they've now got João Pedro, and he needs to play football games. He needs to play football matches. And Newcastle right now, beggars cannot be choosers. And you look at Nicholas Jackson, right? His stats for Chelsea last season, 10 goals in 30 games, 5 assists. 35 games the season before that, 14 goals, 5 assists. That's 19 goal contributions and 15 goal contributions last year, on top of missing all them chances that he missed. Imagine he was putting the ball in the back of the net. He's hitting 20. He's hitting 20, 100%. And I feel like football's also a confidence thing where he's been bashed by fans. John Obi Mikel, an ex-Chelsea player, has called him out a number of times. He knows that he's been fighting demons to try and prove himself. And I feel like it's got the better of him at the end of the day. And he needs a fresh start. For him, Chelsea need to move on from him. And Newcastle are a club begging for a striker. The shoe fits. The shoe fits. I remember when Newcastle were back in the day having the strikers like Demba Ba, Papi Cisse. They get African players and they can make them cook. Newcastle love a strong African player. And Nicholas Jackson, I'm telling you now, with Elanga, with Anthony Gordon, Harvey Barnes, Jacob Murphy, he can do something. With Asula coming off the bench, giving you more of a physical profile. If I'm honest with you, Newcastle, don't look at it as a negative. I think Nicholas Jackson is a player that can do well because stylistically, right, when you look at Alexander Isak, he wasn't just a goal scorer. He was a striker that dropped deep. He can link up play. He linked up well with Anthony Gordon. He linked up well with Jacob Murphy. He's kind of like a bit of that Harry Kane profile where he can drop in, he can dribble with it, he can play passes through the lines, and he can help the attackers on the transition. Now, Nicholas Jackson can do the on-the-shoulder thing, but he can also drop deep and link up play. Chelsea were a better team with him in there. He just didn't score all the chances that he created or got. At Newcastle, let's be positive and say that he does take them chances. Newcastle could have a good player on their arms here. They could really have a good player because when you look at it, right, let's go through Newcastle's main starting 11, right, in terms of the attack. You've got Gordon on the left. Now, for me, Gordon is that technical sort of winger. He can take on players. He can dribble 1v1. He can do give and goes 1-2s. He works hard. He can score. He can create. He's more of like a natural winger in terms of he's got the whole package in him. Yeah, he's sort of like the creative goal scoring winger, the team winger, right? Then you look on the other side, Jacob Murphy. Look, let's have it right. Jacob Murphy isn't amazing, but Newcastle have a way of getting the best out of Jacob Murphy. They play on the transition. They play balls in behind. He's the pace outlet. He cuts it back and the attackers finish it. He can also score goals himself, Jacob Murphy. So what they done when they got in Anthony Langer, they were like, right, if you've got Anthony Gordon and Harvey Barnes, who are more the technical players on the left-hand side, we need the pace outlets on the right-hand side because that's what's worked. If it's not broken, don't change it. So what could they do? They said Jacob Murphy, the pace, the outlet, can't play every single game. But when he comes off, who was really coming on? Harvey Barnes on the right, he's not used to playing there really. He's not really impacting the game there from that side. But you bring in Alanga now, and you take off Alanga at 70 minutes and bring on Murphy. You start Murphy and bring on Alanga. You've got pace, full throttle, attacking intent, runs in behind, counter-attacking, transition on that right-hand side for 90 minutes. For 90 minutes. And someone like Nicholas Jackson, you can drop deep, spin the ball out wide and get runs in behind, link up with Alanga. That's fine. That will work. Gordon, the technical guy, he can drop off, give him 1-2s. Then at the same time, you've got Alanga who can bomb down the right, cut it back. Jackson's there for a tap in. Gordon getting beyond his man, cutting it back as well. When you look at front threes, I look at teams and I think, even though this player might have deficiencies, does this player fit in what we're trying to do? And I look at Newcastle as a team that are very quick on the break, can play in transition, and that's how they get a lot of their goals. Yes, at home, they might dominate the ball a bit more. So Jackson could struggle a little bit more in that side of maybe, getting beyond his man in a 6-yard box. But I think Isaac did at times as well. Isaac didn't really score a lot of scrappy goals. He scores nice finishes. And I just think Newcastle, you're in this position right now where you need to go out and get a striker. You also want a player that wants to come. You want a player with a chip on their shoulder that wants to prove themselves that, Chelsea, you are wrong, but also to the football world, I can play at this level. I can play in the Premier League. And I think Nicholas Jackson could be the option, even over a Wissa, because he's 24. He's Premier League proven, played for Senegal internationally, AFCON, big World Cup year. AFCON, big year for him, and then even the World Cup next year. I look at him and I'm just like, I'll have him over Wissa all day. Personally, I think Wissa is a good player. Look, don't get it twisted. I think Wissa is a good player. Can play a bit off the left, can play up top, but I feel like this is not really like the type to be the main man. I feel like Mbeumo helped him a lot. Kevin Schade helped him a lot. And Wissa played in a very well-drilled, oiled system at Brentford, and he had a very good season last year. But I don't look at Wissa and think, yeah, he can do that year upon year upon year. I've seen him years before that, and he's been okay. When Ivan Toney was there, he was coming off the bench, and he wasn't really a main starter. He had a good year last year. I get it with the 19 Premier League goals. I'm not going to take that away from him. But I think there's certain players that are capped at a certain level, and I think Wissa at Brentford, that is kind of his level. Going into a Champions League club and starting with pressure to get back in the Champions League, I just don't think that's Wissa for me. Starting as a main number 9 for Newcastle, you could have him and Jackson, and I'm like, yeah, cool. Do you know what? You've got 2 squad options there. Why not try and get both? Why not try and get both? If you let Isak go for 130, 140 million, you can go and pay for Wissa and pay for Jackson. And you're like, okay, cool. Do you know what? We've got 2 striking profiles in there. I think they could need 2 strikers. I'm not going to lie. Osula is the only one there because Isak's never going to kick a ball in that shirt again, I don't believe. So you're going to actually need 2 strikers. And I think if you go out and spend money and spend 105 million on getting 2 Premier League strikers, which I think is quite big, having the proven ability, playing in the league, used to it, with the squad depth that you're going to need with Champions League, Carabao Cup, FA Cup and Premier League, trying to maintain your top 4 spot. I'm not going to lie. Newcastle, I think you've just got to bite the bullet, take the risk, and go with the upside of what Nicholas Jackson can bring to the overall team in his overall game and think, right, if only he can start scoring the chances he gets, you've got a good striker. Don't let people fool you. because the striker market is starving right now. The other option you can look at, and this is one option I am going to throw out there because that's my Premier League prop. But if you want to be really ambitious, clever, and I think someone that can suit the Newcastle profile, Randall Kolo Muani. PSG want to get rid. He's a striker that wants to play games. He's a striker that I believe suits the Premier League. Go out and make an offer for Randall Kolo Muani. He's at the perfect age. Yeah, it's not really worked out at PSG for him, but at Frankfurt, he was doing his bits. He's another player, can drop in, pacing behind, can score goals, plays well with the wingers. He's a facilitator. He's not just a goal scorer. Newcastle need a player that can link up and get the whole team involved. You don't just want a goal scorer up there because I don't think that's enough for Newcastle. Randall Kolo Muani could be the sneaky option that I believe Newcastle should be looking at. 26 years of age at the moment. He's already linked to, obviously, Tottenham at the moment. He's already linked to Juventus. You know, Tottenham are rivals that are going to be looking for the same spots that you are in the Premier League. Juventus are a proven Italian team that are wanting to get back in that title race for them. So when you've got someone of that profile getting linked to them clubs, it shows that, one, he's attainable, but two, it shows how highly rated he is. And I'm not going to judge him by his time at PSG because I genuinely believe that this guy is a good player. He went to them on loan last year, Juventus. He got 8 goals in 16 games, which is decent. And his good season at Frankfurt in 22-23, 15 goals, 11 assists in 32 matches. That is 26 goal contributions. If you got 15 goals and 11 assists in the Premier League, you're taking that all day. I don't even know what Isaac had last season. Let's have a look. Isaac last year, okay, 23 goals, 6 assists, 21 goals before that, and then 10 and 1. So he's getting the 20 mark. He's consistently in that 20 mark the last 2 seasons, which is hard to get. You're not getting loads of strikers now that are going to get that, but you've got to get the best sort of profile that's going to fit your club and going to try and get as close to them numbers as possible with Alanga, with Gordon chipping in, with Joe Linton and other players chipping in. But I think it has to be Nicholas Jackson, Randall Kolo Muani, Yoann Wissa, with one of them. I don't think Yoann Wissa can come by himself. He's not good enough for me. But if you're going to get one striker and it was only one striker only, it has to be Kolo Muani. Put in a cheeky offer, go for something different. I think he will work at Newcastle. If not, take the risk on Nicholas Jackson because all he's got to do is put that ball in the net. The rest of the game is fine. Don't believe in what everyone says writing him off. But Newcastle, you need to do business now because as a football fan, I like Newcastle. Great fans, great stadium, great passion. You know, when you play away from home, you're always watching their games because you know they're going to give it all. And I just feel like after the Champions League qualification and winning a trophy, Eddie Howe must be thinking, raw, is this really what's happening when I should be elevating? I should be getting backed. And I'm not saying he's not been backed. You've just not got the players that you wanted because other teams have outbidded you or the players have decided to go to them clubs over you. And unfortunately, that is the way football is. But for me, these are the strikers that Newcastle need to be looking at. But the one special one that's not been mentioned is Kolo Muani. And I'm going to leave that there. Guys, smash a like, make sure you subscribe, and I will see you on the other side.